I would love to have a race that the Trainiacs just swoop in and descend on. Start dialing me in a plan, buddy. Morning, Trainiacs. So, long swim is over, body's actually not feeling too bad, and as I mentioned before, one of the ways that I stay motivated to keep training is to always have a next goal in mind. And historically, I've always found if I don't have a goal in mind, it's really hard for me to get out of the habit of daily training. And it's that daily training that makes you faster. When you accumulate little bits of workload over the course of years and years, that's when you get fast. You think about Coach Pat, the guy has done consistently day in and day out, 1 or 2 a day for like 2 decades. And yeah, he does have some really big days and some really big training weeks and weekends here and there, but it's that consistency over a long period of time that makes you fast. So in my case, what I want to do right now is not even let myself get into that mode of like, you know what? I just did the big swim on the weekend and maybe I'll just kind of mess around and not take training too seriously. We're right smack dab in the middle of the summer in 2017 and there's no reason for me to not be training really hard, having a next race in mind. So what I want to talk about today is how to pick that next race, because I've got to pick that next race. First and foremost, you got to decide what distance you want to do. I always recommend that people stick to the longest distance that they can do while still being able to race it. And what I mean by that is, what is the longest distance you can do while still maintaining some speed and not just surviving the race? In the first couple years of triathlon, I bounced back and forth between sprint and Olympic, and what I would find is that around the sprint distance, I could still maintain some speed and go fairly hard, but as soon as I got up to Olympic, I would have major energy crashes because I didn't really know what I was doing and I didn't have a base of fitness that was big enough to conquer that Olympic. So what I did was, for 2 or 3 years, I went back down to the sprint distance. I was just able to focus on racing and training to race that distance race really well. And what happens is, because I'm not having blow-ups when I got out into the sprint distance race, I was able to race it really well. I was able to train really purposefully. I was able to learn how my body needed to train and how to race really well. It was that decision to focus on only the longest distance race that I could possibly race that I became a good triathlete. I don't know, I would say better triathlete. And then what happened is, after about 3 seasons, because I knew my body so well, I was able to step up from sprint, where I was doing about a 1:07 sprint distance race, to Olympic, where in the first Olympic race that I did in 4 years, I did it at 2:14. I was able to hold the exact pace that I was racing at in the sprint. The very next year, I moved up to half-ironman, and that was about how long I figured I could actually race a race. And what I've found is, in the 2 half-ironmans that I've done, I did 4:46 and then 5:02 in the crazy heat of Campeche. I'm kind of still able to race them, but there's still that aspect of just holding on. Still just on the edge of being a little bit more in control of me than I am of it. And that's the determinant for, am I ready to move up? Okay, so that's how you pick the distance. The next determinant of how to pick a race: do you go local and something easy to get to, or do you go to a destination race? And the way that I look at that is, you can't have too many big races in a year. You get maybe 2 or 3 really big races in a year, and to prepare for those, you need around 3 to 5 months. So if you're going for just like a filler race that you're gonna train through, by all means, make it a shorter race, make it a local race. But if you're looking at having that key race that you want to really drop it like it's hot at, make it a destination race, make it a big event, make it something that, like I say, is that little bit scary, and it's your focus to keep you motivated. So what I'm planning on right now is, I want about 4 to 5 months from the long swim right now until my next big race. In between then, I might go and do some local races and just kind of kick around and enter them a few days ahead of time. But what we're picking right now, that I'm gonna pick with the help of all of you Trainiacs is the next race. Let's go do this with a schedule in front of us. So we're talking half Ironman towards the end of October, early November, ideally somewhere in North America so that I can use my flying points. Let's go to the Ironman official website and see where that puts us. Ooh. We've got North Carolina on October 21st. We've got Miami on October 22nd. We've got New Orleans on October 22nd. Austin, October 29th. And Los Cabos in Mexico, November 12th. Over on the Challenge family, Challenge Aruba on October 22nd. Challenge Florianopolis, oddly enough, in Brazil. That sounds very like a Greek place. So those right now are the main contenders. What I would like all of you Trainiacs to do is I would love to have a race that the Trainiacs just swoop in and descend on. Of all of those races, comment below if there's one that you think that you might be able to go to. If there's one that is overwhelmingly Trainiac heavy that's easy for everyone to get to, we should go in and drop kick a race. How about that? Or if there's a race that is a half Ironman distance around that end of October, beginning of November timeframe that I don't know about that is close to a bunch of you, put that in the comments below and let's get some planning together to have a race that a bunch of Trainiacs descend upon. Maybe we do some like pre-race training together. I'm liking where this idea is going. I am liking it a lot. Yeah, let's start talking about this like right now and doing some planning, because it's enough of a ways away that everyone has time to do some training and get a program going where you've got enough time to build up fitness and start getting prepared for a race. And I am antsy to start training. Body isn't feeling that bad from the long swim. On the ride this morning, it was an awesome ride. Huge group, we're talking like 19 people, which is getting big. When we start getting up into like high 20s, that's where the group maxes out, so we're not far away from there.
Woo, boy! Hey, well done, Taren.
I almost saw a forearm because it was warm enough for people to not have to bundle up this morning, and the body wasn't feeling too bad. I was able to hang in with the front group and do some sprints, do some lead outs. Granted, when I tried to like push it from that kind of high gear to boom, sprinting, I didn't have much there. But I feel at least good enough that I can start seeing light at the end of the tunnel, that I can say, hey, Pat, start dialing me in a plan, buddy. In addition to that, by the time you see this, tomorrow, there will be a grand total of about 8 hours that the open discount of 20% off any and all coaching plans at triathlontaren.com/coaching. So if you go there and you want to get a plan, it's going to be closed at the end of Friday, June 29th, and type in Trainiacs20 and you get 20% off. There you go, to work. Ooh, it's almost lunchtime, delicious. Hey Trainiacs, you know, I was just thinking on the ride home here about getting into an actual training program for a half Ironman. And you know, I am psyched about it. I am way psyched about it. So psyched that I'm saying way psyched like I'm 13 years old. Way psyched. It's just radical. Man, it's raining. I cover you up because you're weather sealed, but you're not weatherproof. I mean, the thing about the long swim is that it's fun and all to have this big, crazy goal, but it's a little bit tedious. I'm sure you felt that every morning it was like Groundhog Day. I was starting in the pool, and your swimming gets slower because 90% of your swimming is done at 37K race pace. Your running gets slower because you can't run that much. Biking gets slower because I couldn't bike that much. And I'm really looking forward to having a nice structured plan that Pat lays out for me, and I smash myself, hop back on that pain train, and see what I can make my body do. So I'm jazzed up for it. And hopefully we can do a race that a bunch of us go for. And if a bunch of you are also doing one of the coaching plans, have that as a team goal that we're all doing all around the world, and then we converge together and we just freaking nail it. Oh man, that would be so exciting. All right, like, terrain is getting ridiculous. Let's go inside. Later, Trainiacs. You have a good day.